Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. There are some cartoons you watch as a kid and then forget, and then there's Shin Chan, a show so hilarious, so unhinged, so weirdly heartwarming that it doesn't just entertain you, it becomes a part of your childhood, a piece of your identity, something you emotionally attach to without even realizing it. For me, vintage Shin Chan, the episodes made when the original creator, Yoshio Usui, was still alive, wasn't just a cartoon. It was a feeling, a ritual, a tiny escape that made life brighter. I was 6 years old when I first watched it on Hungama. Back then, life was simple. There were no phones, no pressure, no constant overthinking. My biggest worry was homework. The moment I came home from school, I dropped my bag, switched on the TV, and Shinchan would be right there, dancing across the screen with that groovy theme song that had me hopping around the living room like a confused bunny. My mom absolutely hated the show, and honestly, she had a point. The original Japanese version was never meant for kids. It was crass, unfiltered, and full of jokes that definitely went way over my innocent little head. The Indian dub censored almost all the adult humor. Thank God. But it still kept the chaotic energy that made Shinchan so special. Even as a kid, I knew there was something different about this cartoon, something bolder, stranger, funnier. It wasn't like the polished, predictable moral lesson per episode cartoon. Shinchan was raw, Shinchan was wild, Shinchan was chaos with legs. And that's exactly what made it a masterpiece. Shinchan is one of those characters who shouldn't work, but somehow works perfectly. He's naughty, blunt, inappropriate, and absolutely unpredictable. He can turn any situation into a disaster in 5 seconds just by opening his mouth. But beneath all the mischief, he's a sweet kid with a genuine heart. And that contrast, that balance between chaos and innocence, is what made him unforgettable. One moment he's dancing naked, doing his action beam and driving everyone insane, and the next he's walking all the way to the grocery store in the rain, holding an umbrella just to pick his mom because she forgot hers. This episode absolutely melts my heart. It captures everything that makes Shinchan magical: comedy, absurdity, and then suddenly, without a warning, a punch of emotion that reminds you. This kid might cause trouble, but he deeply loves the people around him. When I revisited Shinchan as an adult, I realized something surprising. It's even funnier now than I was 6. Back then I laughed because it was silly. Now I laugh because I get the jokes, the misunderstandings, the absurd timing, the adult reactions, the dry sarcasm. I didn't understand any of that as a kid. Watching it again made me appreciate the genius behind the writing. It's not just slapstick, it's not random chaos, it's clever, it's intentional, it's comedic timing executed with surgical precision. And nothing proves this better than one of my favorite episodes, the famous turtle race episode. Shin-chan is a turtle waddling around with zero dignity, trying to rescue Masao from being bullied by rabbits, only for him to somehow win the race purely by luck. It was so ridiculous, so unnecessary, so unhinged that I couldn't breathe from laughing. And that's the beauty of this show. Even the stupidest premises can turn into a comedic gold. Now we have to talk about one of the biggest highlights of Shinchan, Buri Buri Zaemon. This guy is a comedic cheat code. He's literally one of the most perfectly used side characters in cartoon history. He's supposed to be a heroic savior, the magical pig warrior who appears when Shinchan calls him. Except he's absolutely useless. He contributes nothing. He tries to help and ends up failing miserably every single time. Sometimes he even betrays the heroes just because he feels like it. But that's what makes him ironic. His screen time is always perfectly balanced. Not too much, or he'd lose the charm. Not too little, or fans would beg for more. Just the right dose of chaotic stupidity. Whenever Buri Buri Simon shows up, you know the episode is instantly about to become 10 times funnier. Shinchan is hilarious on his own, but what truly elevates the show is the entire Nohara family. Mitzi, the short tempered demoness who could destroy a planet if someone said the wrong thing. She loses her cool instantly, threatens Shinchan with slippers, and snaps at Harry over the smallest things. But she is also a loving, stressed, relatable mother doing her best. She's dramatic, emotional, and absolutely hilarious. Harry, the sweetest, most hard-working middle-class father ever. He is the voice of reason in a house full of lunatics. He cares for his family deeply, but he also suffers the most between Mitzi's temper and Shinchan's nonsense. He is the perfect representation of tired Indian dad, trying his best while the universe keeps bullying him. You laugh at him, but you also feel for him. Harry is the emotional backbone of the family, an underrated gem of the show. Shinchan's background score is honestly underrated. Every emotional scene hits harder because of the music. Every comedic moment becomes funnier because of the musical cues. The jolly tunes makes you dance. The sad tunes make you cry. The adventurous themes make you feel like you're there with the characters. It's one of those soundtracks that stays logged in your memory forever. Now, as an adult, life is very different. Stress, responsibilities, expectations, overthinking, all of that piles up. But whenever I return to Shinchan, it feels like stepping into a time machine. Suddenly, I'm six again. Suddenly, the world is simple again. Suddenly, the only thing I care about is whether Buri Buri Zaemon is going to help Shinchan or fail miserably again. It's a brief escape, but a powerful one. Shinchan reminds me of who I used to be, a carefree, imaginative kid who laughed without overthinking, who dreamed without doubt, who felt joy without hesitation. That's why this cartoon isn't nostalgia, it's comfort, it's therapy, it's home. And I genuinely hope this cartoon is passed down to every generation after mine because it's rare, it's weird, it's funny, it's emotional, and it has a heart unlike anything else. Shinchan made my childhood magical, and I'll always be grateful for that.